Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to today's unseen video. This is where we round up all the big talking points from social media. And yeah, I'm kind of interested in this because this feels like a bit of a nothing story. But the more you pick at it, the more it kind of shows that there's some interest in here, right? So, Christopher, thank you. This coming from Body Slam Net. Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch have reportedly been discussed as potential opponents for the Women's World Champion, Stephanie, at WrestleMania. Now, at first you go, yeah, I can see that. That makes sense. Maybe you move on with your day. But does this say and suggest that Stephanie is going to be keeping this championship till WrestleMania? Because I think it is suggesting that. The other thing is, does it suggest that one of these could be the winners of the 2026 Women's Royal Rumble? It could suggest that, right? I mean, obviously there is another world title that's currently on Jade. I feel really good that it's going to be Jade Bianca at WrestleMania, right? Now, maybe Bianca wins the Royal Rumble. I think she's going to be one of the favorites, but she might not. She might win Elimination Chamber and actually get to the title that way, right? So Bianca, I think, is one of the favorites, but that surely makes one of these one of the favorites as well, right? That makes me wonder and question, where does that leave Liv Morgan? I think a lot of people had Liv Morgan as being a favorite for the Royal Rumble. Well, if she's not going to be fighting Jade's, and she probably isn't because Liv's a heel, Jade's a heel, and she's not being rumored as one of the top names to take on Stephanie, does that mean we're going to get Liv, maybe Roxanne? And maybe we're going to get like a Judgment Day feud? Could it be Liv and Dom against Roxanne and Finn, maybe? I'm not sure. I mean, once you start picking at this, it starts unraveling, and you start questioning, well, what about this? What about that? What about the Rumble? What about Liv Morgan? So I think it's really interesting. Obviously, there could be other names in the mix. Liv could be one of the names in this conversation. But at the moment, the reports are just saying Becky and Rhea. And I'm down for either of those matches, to be honest. I think either of those would be great. I don't really mind which way we go. I think either of them would be a banger. But this does suggest to me that we're going to stick with Stephanie as champion up till WrestleMania. Right, next, Shay, thank you. We've got an answer as to what two superstars are going to be featured in Zootopia 2. And it is two of the absolute biggest stars, Roman Reigns and CM Punk. So there we go. The names finally revealed. If you did watch Unseen a few days ago, you'll know that word was doing the rounds that there was two stars in this film from WWE, but no one knew the names. The names have now come out, so that's pretty big for them, to be honest, to be in this film. And we're seeing a lot of film opportunities for current WWE talent. I think it's to do with that Paradigm kind of talent agency. And we're seeing more and more of those opportunities coming along. Right, possible spoiler for plans with Drew at Survivor Series. No great surprise. They're saying that internally, yes, he is being discussed to go into Survivor Series, War Games, the match. This doesn't really surprise me. I'm sure it doesn't surprise you. Cody is kind of already confirmed as being on the babyface team. Drew has been feuding with Cody. Obviously, he is suspended at the moment, but looks like he might be back from that suspension in time so that he can actually take part in this. So at the moment, it looks like Drew is heading for the War Games match, which is what we presumed. Okay, Fightful Selector found out that regarding Mark Shapiro's recent comments about moving past Vince McMahon era PLEs, WWE higher-up said they believe those comments were primarily directed at the monthly PLEs, as opposed to those major tentpole shows. They don't expect those events to go anywhere. And I think there is a little bit of common sense there. I mean, for me, the tentpole shows are things like the Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, probably Money in the Bank, although we have seen that move. But I think it's one you wouldn't get rid of. Those are the ones that I would say are set in stone. I think everything else is fair game. Some people might say Elimination Chamber. We had a conversation on the stream the other day about that. I think it can be replaced. We haven't always used it as a way of finding who fights the other champion, for example. So you could replace it with something different, a different stipulation. It could be replaced with just a completely different PLE. So I don't know if that one is a tentpole, like set in stone. It might be. It could be. They might view it that way. But I think, yeah, they're probably talking about things like Backlash, Crown Jewel. You know, they're talking more about those kinds of shows that, you know, we need to move past those. We need to come up with some new ideas, which I agree with, to be honest. I do think that the schedule is a little bit stale. The most exciting thing that we created this year was WrestlePalooza. And, you know, that's just a name from the past anyway, right? And it was just a normal show. So, yeah, I think moving on with new things, new ideas is not a bad thing, right? Worth trying some stuff. And then the final thing we've got in the WWE folder is this. So the Smackdown viewership has come in at 1.1 million. Now, obviously, we know Smackdown was below 1 million last week, and we know that Halloween had an effect on that. Well, we're past Halloween, and last week Smackdown did 1.14, so we have seen a lift for last week's Smackdown. Yes, this feels like it's interesting news. The only thing I would say about this is he was in front of a lot of people, and he was made to look a little bit silly, so I can sort of understand the reaction. I would imagine, though, there is some very real frustration here. So, Johnny, thank you. If we click on this, make it a bit bigger. You're about to see LA Knight doing a promo during commercial break, run out of time, and they kind of cut away, and you can then see his frustration, right? Got to take the sound down, right? They're not live there. So you heard the promo, you heard the microphone cut, you heard the music play, you heard the crowd reaction. There's the moment, right? Oh, everyone's going, oh, this is what's interesting. This stuff is not being shown. Those few words that he has there, he knows that is not being shown on TV, right? That is just the frustration coming out, right? He does know that he's in front, though, of a live audience. And so it's right for him to be frustrated. I mean, the whole crowd just went, oh, you know? So, yeah, this reaction here, none of this is being shown on TV. That is just what the live crowd picked up, right? You can see Byron just, like, trying to explain, you know, like, dude, we ran out of time. I mean, I don't know if anyone is, like, counting him down or if it, you know, just came as a surprise. Yeah, he's not happy. I wish that was a longer clip, honestly. I wish that was a longer clip. I mean, it was probably fine. It's one of those things, but interesting. That's some really good crowd footage. Right, next we got Chavo Guerrero saying he's re-signed with WWE. So, Mitchell, thank you. I just gave the article a read. He's just doing work with AAA. And so he re-signed and he's kind of doing stuff down there. So certainly not expecting to see him on the main roster or anything like that. It's very much AAA related. This is an interesting video. I'm going to take the sound off. It's only 15 seconds long. And it's Montez. And there he is. Just kind of sitting back in a chair, staring at the camera. Juan said this was interesting. And it is interesting. Doesn't really achieve a great deal. I mean, it might tease something. I don't know what it's teasing. I mean, a lot of people wondering, when are we going to go with this guy as a solo star, you know? I mean, surely it's kind of end of the road now for the Street Profits. We've done everything we can do with them. So I don't know that that's what this is teasing, but I know that's what people will be hoping that's what this is. But, you know, knowing Montez, it could be absolutely anything, right? So we'll have to keep an eye on that, see if that goes anywhere. I've not seen this footage, but this is what went down after NXT. So this is the end of NXT. Here is Oba. He came back right at the end of the show. And I think this is the footage now that we never got to see. So look at that image there. Look at that. What a shot that is. How great is that with Ricky in the ring and Oba's shadow on the ceiling kind of being projected behind him? It looks so good. There's Ricky after he just had that last man standing match. And here's Oba making his way down. Oba looking, and it has been noted by people, looking bigger, right? Here's all the security coming down. Doesn't he just look so good? Doesn't he just look so good? I mean, that's the last thing you want to see if you're Ricky Saints. There he is, calming it down. Oh, I see you. And he backs away. And that's what went down after NXT went off air. And then I'm guessing he just headed to the back, right? Very good. Very exciting. Really enjoyed NXT last night. Right, Roman Reigns SCM. So Chris Jericho said that TNA looked like the second biggest company in the world at Bound for Glory. He said that crowd looked huge. It looked huge. It was like a WWE level crowd, and the place was packed. I was watching, and I'm not saying anything out of school here, but compared to Dynamite when they were in that ECW arena, like, it just looked like TNA was the second biggest company in the world. It was amazing. The presentation was amazing. Now, a lot of people have looked at this and said, oh my God, he's coming back to WWE, he's now laying into AEW, and there could be some truth in that, right? The only thing I would say is I am really split, because this is obviously being done for a reason, right? I feel like he's either coming back to WWE, and he is just saying a few negative things about AEW just to win the WWE fans over, so that when he does come back, he's, kind of guaranteeing himself a better reaction, right? So he's never going to say anything too negative, just the odd little thing. Just like, I think TNA felt like they were the second biggest promotion the other week. I thought their show was amazing, blah, you know what I mean? Just the odd little thing, just to win the WWE fans back on side, because he has been Mr. AEW, right? I mean, he has been their former world champion, ever present since it began. One of the pillars that AEW was very much built on. So it could be that, or it could be something a bit smarter than that, right? And it could be that he is going to re-sign with AEW, and he is just getting everyone to talk about AEW, speculate about AEW, have conversations like, oh my God, did you see what Jericho said? Yeah, he kind of laid into AEW a little bit. And then bang, we get to January, and it's announced that he's re-signed. And all of this was, just to create a bit of buzz, just to create a bit of hype, to get people talking about Jericho, to get people talking about AEW. It could be that, right? So I'm torn as to which way he's going to go. Is it the way that feels very obvious? Or is he playing a game of chess, right? So I don't know. I don't know which way this is going to go. But certainly a lot of people in WWE and WWE fans are ever hopeful that this will lead to his WWE return, maybe at the Royal Rumble. Booker T has had some interesting comments. Booker T said he thinks that Jey is going to have to work his ass off to get another World Heavyweight Championship run. He's like, he can't rest on his laurels. He can't think that he had one run, so he's guaranteed to get that spot back again. That's just not the way it works. That's why I say he's going to have to put in some work. And that's just my humble personal opinion. He knows I love him. And he knows I wouldn't be saying that if it wasn't true. I think it's very interesting hearing someone like Booker kind of saying that Jey needs to put work in. Booker could have said, Jey's right there, man. They just need to pull the trigger. Like, Jey's time will come back around. It's too good to be ignored. He could be saying those things, but instead he's saying he's going to have to work his ass off. There's no guarantee he's going to get that spot again, which is very interesting, isn't it? And that's been kind of picked up by a few people. So obviously there's a lot of people that have got their issues with Jey and their criticisms of Jey. I don't know that Jey necessarily needed these comments from Booker right now, but those are the comments that he got. Right, next, Jey, talking of Jey, appeared in an advert for Chelsea. Chelsea FC kind of dropped a bit of a Christmas advert, and one of the kids was watching a tablet, and on the tablet was Jey Uso. Now, everything has to be checked in these adverts. There's no way that's just done by chance. And there was no reason to show us the tablet either. The kid could have been on the tablet, and we could have not seen what he was watching, but we got shown it. So I'm not sure of the relationship between WWE and Chelsea. I don't know if there's some partnership there. And I also think, I don't know what belt that is he's holding, but it looks like it's probably the Chelsea belt. They did those football belts, those Premier League belts, kind of WWE meets Premier League. I think it's probably that. And it's probably a Chelsea one, because it looks like it's got a bit of blue in it, which is Chelsea's colours. And I'm thinking it's probably that. So it was probably a way of kind of getting a WWE superstar into their video and also kind of promoting these belts. They probably could have done it a bit better, actually. But yeah, a few people talking about that. Jey making a very, very brief appearance in the new Chelsea Christmas commercial. Right, let's go into the front folder. We got a new shirt for the Kabuki Warriors. Looks really cool. So used to shirts just being black that I think that just looks really, really cool. So new shirt for the Kabuki Warriors. Kanon, thank you. New shirt for John. We knew they were going to do this. It's part of the reason why they did it, right? Grand Slam champion means you get out some Grand Slam merch. And here it is, the Grand Slam champion shirt for John Cena, which I'm sure is selling very well. Oh, I thought this was fun. What a great guest for Stephanie to get. I mean, there was a time where Stephanie, I believe, was booking for one brand and Heyman was booking for the other brand. I think Stephanie was booking for Raw, Heyman was booking for Smackdown. So, I mean, they've got so many stories. There's so much stuff that these two have been through in WWE, both on camera and behind the scenes, to just dig into their relationship. And some of the kind of times where they've kind of crossed paths. Honestly, I think this is going to be a really fascinating podcast. So here's the trailer for Paul Heyman being on Stephanie's podcast.
What the is wrong with you?
So you're with me at 3 o'clock in the morning. I guess I was a little upset.
So, getting psychotherapy lately?
You better stop laughing.
This is hilarious to me.
You know, you're not always right. And you know the thing like a monkey with a cymbal? I know how up I am.
We're all up.
Get Let's go! This may end up on the editing floor. Okay?
Always a good lead-in.
Oh, boy.
It's going to be good, isn't it? I mean, it looks like they had so much fun recording it. I bet there's so many great stories. So many great stories. Right, next, John Cena shared this on Instagram. So this was at the TD Gardens, and they had a wall of, like, John Cena moments. And look at this one right here. So it's got the exit just over his face, and he's kind of pointing in the same direction as the exit. And we know that the exit for John himself is coming very, very soon. That exit at Saturday night's main event in December. The irony of this, I don't think, was lost on John Cena. So, yeah, I thought that was really fun. Really good. Look at this. Is insane. This is actually insane. So, here is Jade. Look at this. Dude. If I make it bigger, I wonder if we can go full screen on it. Look at this. Dude. Dude. Where has this been filmed? This isn't, I don't believe this is WWE's doing. I mean, I believe her partner is like a former baseball player, I think. Certainly used to be in sports. I don't think they're hurting for money. And so I think this is round their house. I think they've got a room where they've had these letters made and they filled it with all these decorations. And this is her flexing, right? This is not WWE that have put this on. When have you ever seen WWE do this for anyone else? It's funny, actually, because I remember her doing something similar when she had signed with WWE. I remember there being all these balloons and these kinds of signs that were made. This is just how I think she likes to celebrate moments. So when she signed, she did something similar. Here she is. Well, now that she's the champ, it's the amount of money this must have cost. It's crazy, mate. Oh, there it is. There it is. I haven't seen this video, actually. Where are they? Is this just in their house? Is this just like under their stairs or something? What the hell? I mean, it looks bigger because the floor is all mirrors. But, I mean, dude, what the flip? That is quite the celebration, isn't it? That is quite the I don't know if maybe she went round to like someone's studio or something. I don't know. But that is crazy. That is crazy. The celebrating winning a championship and then the celebrating winning a championship. Right, Nathan, thank you. Yeah, this is really interesting. Very, very quick glimpse of kind of what goes into making these graphics. So the graphics and the VFX team at WWE had 2 weeks to render 400 deliverables for Clash in Paris. Unreal Engine 5 helped them hit that deadline. So let's check this out.
We are rendering all the time. Rendering is at the end of the process, and it is the hardest, longest part of the entire process. It's also prone to so many changes at the end that we then have to figure out. So Unreal Engine was an obvious solution.
In the past, it would not be unusual for us to work really late nights, having to babysit a farm, re-render bad frames. With Unreal, we can do a 10K render in an hour when it would take those days before.
10K. They're operating at 10K. Gee, I'm still on 1080p. They're operating at 10K. It is crazy, though, isn't it? When you see these kinds of graphics, you don't really think about it. But I mean, someone has got to make these graphics. I mean, they are really impressive, aren't they, those graphics? And so, you know, there's a whole team behind making those and all of these graphics that you see on screens and everything. But this kind of stuff, you know, when we go into the match graphics, I mean, they've had to make those, and I don't really give them too much thought, but there is a whole team dedicated to just making them look as sweet as possible. And talking of sweet, look at this. Here he is. So here's Austin Theory saying, do you want to go to the club? And there's Dirty Dom like, the club? He's like, yeah, man, the club. And here's the club. Mate, look at those flipping arms. He has been putting the work in. Yeah. He's always had a good size to him, but he's looking great right now. Haven't seen Theory in a while, but rumors were he was obviously going to be joining up with The Vision and going into Survivor Series. Does look like those plans have changed. I hope they've still got something good for him, though. I really want to see us doing something with Theory. And he's looking good. It looks like he's putting the work in. That is, look at it. Jesus. He was like a proper bodybuilder when he was young. Proper into bodybuilding. And that's what he was like working out for. I mean, that is impressive. So, yeah, I'd love to see us do something meaningful with Theory and really give him something to get his teeth into. I know we've tried a few things in the past, and I know it's not worked, but doesn't mean it's not going to ever work. You only need it to like land once and really get him over and get momentum, get that ball rolling. You just need that break, just need that chance, just need that connection. I really hope we can find it. Right, we got one thing in community, and it is this. Kanon, congrats. Getting a like, I believe. I don't speak Japanese. But getting a like from Kairi Sane. Very, very cool. Right, let's do thanks, and let's get out of here. So, All Game 17, Huddle Talk, Sweet Chin Wrestling, a little bit of a fan, Kelly the Wise Lady, Silverback, Edward, Sub Ho Deep, Taker 1990, Edward, All Game 17, Elite Pro Wrestling Forum, Nico, Larry, Chanel, The Lantern Warrior, Kapata, Chris, Babs the Barbarian, Claire Webb, Emmanuel, Raymond, Wrestle Rant 97, Real Wrestling Fan, Silverback, Real Wrestling Fan, Wrestling Void, and Larry. Really appreciate the support. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Unseen, and I'll be back with another episode for you later on today. Bye for now.